We all have games in our childhood that we briefly remember playing, back when days were easier for us and we had to come in when the streetlights turned on. No matter how simple a game was back then, we were enamored by them, because we were just kids. So today, I wanted to pluck what little of my brain was left to try to remember some of these obscure, games from my childhood. Who knows, maybe you guys have played these games too, or maybe you've heard of them, but I definitely don't see anything about them today. Kind of, a little bit. If you guys got any games that you remember playing that you don't think any others have played, why not leave them in the comments? See if anyone's shared the same childhood as you. We're going to start off with Fossil Fighters, then move on to Docomodake, followed by Battle of Giants, Mutant Insects, and lastly, Fat Princess. For the first game, I picked Fossil Fighters. This is a game I remember pretty fondly. You need to dig up fossils, clean them, and then revive them. After that, you can send them into a turn-based battle. I do remember it looking a bit better and not so pixelated, but then again, these are the memories of when I was probably below the age of 10. The game starts off on a boat asking a few questions to determine which dino you like the best. I'm pretty basic, so I got the Tyrannosaurus. After that, you can try to meet up with Dr. Diggins, but he's pretty busy, so you gotta go to the hotel to get checked into your room and get threatened by your neighbor. You're then actually able to meet up with Dr. Diggins to clean your first fossil. This is the part of the game that I remember the clearest, hammering down on the fossil and drilling it until it's all cleaned off. I couldn't get the DS mic to work, so every time you see me clean fossils, I can't blow off the dust. It makes it pretty hard to clean it. After cleaning it, I got my Spinax or Spinax with an auto counter that does a whopping 1 damage. I don't know if this gets any better later on, but for now, that's pretty weak. I was then supposed to get my fighter's license, and to do that, I needed to pass a cleaning test, which I aced, and then battle with the boatman, which I also aced. After a few more tutorialing, you get to the fossil hunt. Here you can get your dino fossils to clean off later, or you can get a rock if you're unlucky. I do like how the song changes when you get the rock. I cleaned off my new fossils and got the Shan-Chan, which I honestly use as cannon fodder to get more FP. I'm not too good at the game, so for now I think it's a valid strat. I get access to the greenhorn zone after a bit more tutorialing, and get a fossil that I kinda messed up cleaning, but that's okay. I honestly spent like 20 minutes cleaning fossils and stuff. It's pretty fun. I now have a full team, which is pretty cool, but I then talk to this obviously evil dude who says I need to hand over my medals to enter the exclusive dig site. So I give him my medals because why not? And as it turns out, everyone here, including me, got scammed. You then meet Rosie, who wants you to help her find her dino medals so she can get her dinos back. You two head to the police station, which leads you to the arena, and then you find her dinos, but it turns out that guy bought it from another guy. So you go back to Greenhorn Fields, and then you find the guy who took her medals, and battle him to get them back. After that, I was able to clear a level up test, which was another cleaning test and another fight. Not too hard, but this is still the beginning of the game. Rosie comes out and says she failed her test multiple times, and then that's the end of chapter 1. I didn't finish the game or get too far into it. It's a pretty long game, but it's really good and I had lots of fun playing. It's pretty much how I remember it, and honestly, I wouldn't mind finishing the entire thing later on or even in another video. This one definitely held up to my expectations, but it sucks it never made it past the 3DS. There is another game called Fossil Fighters Frontiers, which I never played honestly, so maybe I'll check it out later. On to the next game, we have Docomodake. You play as a little mushroom guy whose family keeps getting lost somehow. I tried jumping straight into the game, but I had no clue what I was doing, so I had to go back to the how to play section. After training my entire life, I was finally ready to play the best Docomodake of my life. Nah, it's just a simple cute puzzle game really. You can split off into smaller mushrooms, throw them, or make them into a ladder, and just solve puzzles really. It's pretty fun, and I spent the first few stages trying to 100% each level. It's not too hard, but I only ever got a B, which I'm assuming is because of my time it took to beat the level, which was only about a minute. Anyway, I go through the stages and find my mom, and then my grandma falls into the river and gets carried downstream. I then complete the stages, but I tragically lose my first little baby. I vow to never lose another one. And then I lost another one. But at this point, I was just trying to fly through the levels and complete them as fast as I could without even gathering coins. I find my grandma, and then my grandpa gets blown away by the wind, but sadly he will be lost forever because that's where I stopped. It's definitely a pretty fun game, but I think puzzle games just aren't my thing. I love the character, the soundtrack, the designs, but I definitely think younger me was spending way more time on these puzzles than current me is, because I mean, I was a stupid little kid. the last game on the DS, I chose Battle of Giants Mutant Insects. A bit of a mouthful. Honestly, the only thing I remember about this game is falling asleep while playing it as a child, and after replaying it, yeah, I could see why I fell asleep. Also, I found out it's published or developed by Ubisoft, take of that what you will. I still find these giant bugs cool. There's a spider, scorpion, mantis, and a secret one. I chose the mantis because I think they're cool. Most of the game is walking around destroying stuff until you come across another giant bug and can do battle. Battling is pretty simple and I think probably the most boring part of the game. You just drag one of your body parts to attack, drag back to block, or drag left and right to dodge. It's really easy to win and you just need to keep attacking and hope the enemy doesn't block or dodge. Also, you get 2 hits in a row and you can do a bonus attack that does major damage, like crazy damage. But you need to connect some dots together, which is also very easy. It's not random or anything, they're in the same place each and every time, but more do get added when you level up. There's also a combo attack. You need to get 3 hits in a row where you connect less dots and it does way less damage than the bonus attack, so there's little to no reason to do it. It kind of makes no sense to do the combo attack when the bonus attack just does so much damage. So far the levels follow the same formula of moving around and battling and finding the chieftain and ending the level. After the level you can upgrade, which I honestly think is probably the most satisfying part of this game. The bug gets some different looks when you upgrade, and also you can change your color, which I took advantage of because I wanted to make my mantis look like an orchid mantis. I think they are really pretty bugs, if you can see right here. I mean, look at them. Also, I found a school bus. Yeah, an actual school bus. I looked it up and apparently there's a ton of these games, and the school bus is a reoccurring secret boss. I actually thought it was a fun fight just because of how weird it was. I got to the second level and was getting kinda bored, but then I found a sentient fly swatter. It was actually kicking my butt and it wouldn't die despite having 0 health, but I managed to beat it. I then beat the boss of the area, upgraded a bit more before quitting. The game was kinda how I remembered it. It's cool at first, but gets old pretty fast. Maybe they'll add more stuff later on into this game, but for now the combat was just too much of a drag for me to enjoy. While I didn't enjoy this one, I'm not hating on the game. I mean, it's got a few others in the series and it does cater to other people, just not me. I think honestly the best part of this game was the silly secret bosses.
Cake, please!
Cake for everyone!
Finally, for the last and my favorite game on the list, and the only game not on the DS, That Princess. Weird title, I know. Basically, it's a PvP game where you try to steal the other castle's princess, take back your own princess, exhaust the enemy's lives, or take towers. And sometimes you need to feed the princess cake to fatten her up, so the enemies have a harder time stealing her, or vice versa. I have extremely good memories of this game, and a lot of people also agree online. There are many different classes and levels, and the game is overall just very enjoyable. I played throughout the entire story on this because it's only about an hour long. It's a really silly game. The end credits play "I like big butts" while you're the Reaper, and you can normally only play as a Reaper if you're the first on leaderboard on the winning team. And the option to pick the credits are called "Who's Your Daddy?" I mean, a lot of the settings in this game and the menuing is really entertaining because, I mean, a single player is called Play With Yourself, and there's like twiddly knobs and all this stuff you can see on the screen. It's really cool, honestly. But it is pretty old. You'll see a lot of the in-game commentary say things like boned and, yeah, ancient, right? Usually my favorite thing to do is chop wood and iron and upgrade all the classes as they try to win. I upgraded all the classes throughout the story, and you can see how they improve. It's pretty cool. Also, there's tons of shortcuts and secrets to break into the enemy castle. This game is honestly so good, and I haven't had this much fun since like Happy Wars days on the 360, which is also another game that I really enjoyed when I was a kid. And it's sad that they discontinued it twice on PC, now it's only on Xbox, which I do have, but I mean, I haven't touched it in years. Bring it back, please. Please, I beg you. Maybe I'll make a video on that in the future. Back to Fat Princess, there's so many PlayStation IPs they've just abandoned, like Little Big Planet, rest in peace Sackboy. But yeah, S++ tier game. Alright, those were some of the obscure games that I used to play. It's honestly really nice to go back and visit things from my memories during some good times. Have y'all played any of these games before? Feel free to let me know by commenting down below if you have any memories of these games, or whatever game was your favorite, or if you have obscure games that you yourself played when you were a child. I would love to hear it, honestly. I really enjoyed making this video. Even if I didn't fully complete most of these games, I'd be more than happy to finish them in later videos if this video blows up, or if you guys like this video or like the games in it, or I might even make a part 2 of this video with more games. Thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed it, why not subscribe? Only about 1.7% of y'all are subscribed, and I mean, you can always change your mind later. Join the 1.7%er. It's pretty cool over here. Please. Maybe even like the video too, or just comment something random. Yeah, this is a sellout portion of the video. I gotta get all this out of the way. Anyway, that's all I got for today. See you next time.